radyo sa Pilipinas. Usalangbay ang radyo. DZRH Nationwide at Radyo Natin Network ng Manila Broadcasting Company. Sa Pilipinas, iisa lang ang radyo.
Manila Broadcasting Company.
Dibisyon ng Biliran Alternative Learning System kasama ang buong kagawaran ng edukasyon at kaagapay ang pamahalaan ng probinsya ng Biliran ay buong pusong inihahandog ang programang pangradyo na pinamagatang Als Radyo Eskwela. Ito ay inyong mapapakinggan tuwing Lunes at Biyernes sa ganap na alas 11 hanggang alas 11:30 ng umaga dito lamang sa 103.9 Radyo Natin FM. Walang makahahadlang, walang maiiwan sa Alternative Learning System. Tiyak na may pag-asa, sama-samang lilipad para maabot ang pangarap sa hamong kinakaharap. Patuloy na aangat, edukasyon para sa lahat. Sulong edukalidad. Ito ang DepEd Als Radyo Eskwela ng Dibisyon ng Biliran.
A pleasant morning to all of us, to our listeners, ALS learners, and our co-ALS implementers. Good morning! I am Teacher Ben, your host for today's episode. Welcome to our Als Radio Eskwela here at 103.9 Radio Natin FM Nawal, Biliran. This morning, I will be accompanied by Teacher Ike, the District ALS Coordinator of Biliran District. Good morning, Sir Ike. It is a great pleasure to work with you this morning.
Good morning too, Sir Ben. It is my honor to be your partner for today's episode. I am very happy to share with our listeners and a very informative and exciting topic that could help them a lot in using communication technologies.
Dear listeners and ALS learners, today we are going to discuss the topic about communication technology. But before we proceed to our discussion, I and Sir Ike would like to inform all of you about our game which we call Tanong Ko, Sagot Mo. And the mechanics in how to join this game will be given by Sir Ike.
Yes, Sir Ben. The mechanics of our game, Tanong Ko, Sagot Mo, is easy. We will be giving a question before we proceed to our main discussion. And if you already know the answer, then you can text it to us together with your name and address, or you can send your answer name, address, and cell phone number in the comment box. For our listeners, send your answers to 0919-438-5153. Again, it's 0919-438-5153. And for our followers who are watching us through FB page of the 103.9 Radyo Natin FM Nabal, Biliran, you can write your answer at the comment box.
Again, you can text your answer at 0919-438-5153, or you can write it in the comment box. We will announce the winner at the end part of our program. The winner will receive 50 pesos worth of load sponsored by Sir Jonal Jake Escoton, one of the beautiful mobile teacher of Biliran District. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, here is our question. What is the meaning of ICT?
I'll repeat the question. What is the meaning of ICT?
Alright, our topic for today is about new technology. Do you know that according to statistics Philippines.com, as of 2019, there were approximately 74 million smartphone users in the Philippines, and it has continued to rise since 2015. Yes, over 74 million smartphone users as of today. And of course, we are included in these 24 million smartphones users, right, Sir Ben?
Yes, Sir Ike. Because of this millennial time, our high technology continued upgrading their system. Last year, the number of internet users in the Philippines, according to data reportal, grew in approximately 73.91 million people, accounting for more than a half of the total population. The digital population belongs to the age of 16 years old and above.
Digital cell phones, including smartphones and traditional feature phones, have become abundant in many countries. Internet modems and routers are found in offices and homes around the world. Communication software from social networking tools to encrypt messaging apps have exploded in popularity.
As digital networking has gone from relatively slow and expensive, computers and phones have gotten more reliable and easier to use. They have gone from being the domain of hobbyists and early tech adopters to every appliances.
In recent years, billions of people around the world have begun using cell phones. In some cases, the digital devices are even cheaper and more reliable than their wired counterparts. And newer devices come equipped with the ability to speedily access the internet and download a wide variety of applications.
While the original cell phones were expensive to use, lucky to carry, and often cannot receive a signal, modern day cell phones are reliable and easy to transport. Society has also adapted to the point where it is difficult for many people to maintain their business career and social life without carrying a cell phone of some kind.
At the same time, cell phone plans have gotten simpler, especially when it comes to delivering basic communication services such as calling, texting, and voicemail. Many users have no more worries if they exceed their minute allowances or waiting for night and weekends to make calls.
The internet has gone from the limited government and academic experiment of the 1960s to a near universal part of modern life. A modem, which stands for modulator demodulator, is used to transform digital signals from a computer into other forms that can be transmitted across phone, cable, or another network.
Examples of communication technology related to the internet are the dial-up modems of 1990s and more modern wireless routers and cable internet modems now found in many homes and businesses.
Modern cell phones and many computers can connect to phone carrier networks. Wi-Fi routers allow them to connect to a locally installed, usually hardwired modem on a larger network.
Many offices, universities, and other environments have also internal networks known as intranets used for secure internal communications.
We are living in the information age, and there has never been a suitable name for a particular period of human history. Digital technologies have revolutionized communication in the modern world.
A revolution was rapidly integrated into our lives that we can scarcely remember how we used to make a phone call or exchange messages back in the analog days. The internet and cell phones are two of the most prominent examples of the influence of the information age. And there are many other types of digital communication technologies today.
The internet and email in 1962. A researcher at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology describes a galactic network of interconnected computers that could talk to another one. The idea of the internet was born. Relying on packet switching, the digital transfer of short bursts of data globally connected computer networks quickly developed into sophisticated digital communication technologies.
Email over the network was introduced in the 1970s and has since grown into one of the most widespread forms of digital communication, both on the internet and through private networks. Packet switching protocols matured and speeds increased. 1980, the first widespread computer virus crashed the global computer network.
In the 1990s, digital communication over network computers emerged from limited use in the academic, government, and business world to come into use by the public. The World Wide Web, the Internet on steroids, was described in 1991. The White House website appeared in the 1993, and the first internet advertising came online in 1994. As transmission speeds increased, the internet evolved from principally one-way communication to a social two-way system, Web 2.0, at sites like Facebook and Twitter.
Cellular phones, the earliest generation of handheld mobile telephones, relied on the analog communication technology of the conventional phone network. The first phones using digital communication, known as 2G phones, appeared in the early 1990s.
Digital phone technology developed rapidly after that. The first text message was sent in 1993, and the transmission of digital content such as ringtones and advertising followed shortly after.
In 2001, 3G digital phone communication arrived, providing faster transmission and making broadband communication practical for multiple media such as voice, internet, and GPS.
The 4G phones appeared later than the decade, offering digital communication 10 times faster than earlier technologies.
High definition television since 2009, the Federal Communication Commission has required TV stations in the United States to broadcast exclusively in digital format. The transmission from conventional to digital television possible and established the television as more than a simple receiver of transmitted signals.
Many digital TVs are multimedia devices that displays television programming, games, photographs, and on-demand movies, stream internet content, play music, and handle recorded media like CDs and DVDs. As television become more interactive, they evolve into true two-way digital communication devices.
Other electronic communication, digital communications have become abundant in modern society and encompass a wide variety of technologies. Remote controls, keyless entry devices, walkie-talkies, Bluetooth earpieces, GPS satellites, cash registers, and credit cards are among the many technologies that communicate digitally with people and other devices.
Futurists have coined the term the Internet of Things to refer the trend of enabling thousands of type of devices, from light bulbs to washing machines with digital communication capabilities.
Physical digital media, given the sophistication of the sudden transmission of digital data, it can be easy to overlook the more routine communication activities.
We store digital data on many types of physical media, including CDs, DVDs, flash drive, tape, and compact memory chips. Every time you have a friend or colleague a file, whether you transfer it electronically or pass along DVD, you are engaged in a form of digital communication.
ICT is an abbreviation for Information and Communication Technology. It's generally the combination of information technology, which focuses on computers and related devices and digital communications, including cell phones, the internet, and other digital networks. The term can be a bit shapeless, but it's fair to say types of ICT includes cell phones, the internet, and home and office networking devices.
Forms of ICT have expanded in the most recent few decades. Digital cell phones, including smartphones and traditional feature phones, have become universal in many countries. Internet modems and routers are found in offices and homes around the world. Communication softwares, from social networking tools to encrypted messaging apps, have exploded in popularity.
As digital networking has gone from relatively slow and expensive, and computers and phones have gotten more reliable and easier to use, they've gone from being the domain of hobbyists and early tech adopters to everyday appliances.
The growth of cell phone technology in recent years, billions of people around the world have begun using cell phones. In some cases, the digital devices are even cheaper and more reliable than their wired counterparts, and newer devices came equipped come equipped with the ability to speedily access the internet and download a wide variety of applications.
While the original cell phones were expensive to use, bulky to carry, and often given to a losing signal, modern day cell phones are reliable and easy to transport. Society has also adapted to the point where it's difficult for many people to maintain their business, career, and social life without carrying a cell phone of some kind.
At the same time, cell phone plans have gotten simpler, especially when it comes to delivering basic communication services such as calling, texting, and voicemail. Many users no longer have to worry about exceeding their minutes allowances or waiting for nights and weekends to make calls.
The internet has gone from a limited government and academic experiment of the 1960s to a near universal part of the modern life. A modern, which stands for modulator demodulator, is used to transform digital signals from a computer into other forms that can be transmitted across to a phone, cable, or another network.
Examples of communication technology related to the internet include the dial-up modems of the 1990s and the more modern wireless routers and cable internet modems now found in many homes and businesses. Modern cell phones and many computers can connect with either built-in Wi-Fi modems or cellular modems that let them connect to phone carrier networks. Wi-Fi router let them connect to a locally installed, usually hardwired modem into a large network.
Many offices, universities, and other environments also have internal networks known as intranets used for secure internal communication.
Here are some advantages in using communication technology: e-learning or online learning. The presence of ICT in education allows for new ways of learning for students and teachers. E-learning or online learning is becoming increasingly popular, and with various unprecedented events taking place in our lives. This does not only open opportunity for schools to ensure the students have access to the curriculum materials while in the classroom, but also allows them to ensure students outside the classroom, such as at home or even those in the hospital, can learn.
ICT brings inclusion. The benefits of ICT in education is that students in the classroom can learn more from the curriculum material. Students with special needs are no longer at an advantage as they can easily access the essential material, and special ICT tools can be used by students for their own educational needs. Despite this, it opens up a new issues related to the digital divide and providing access to ICT tools and resources for those who are less fortunate.
ICT promotes higher order thinking skills. One of the key skills for the 21st century, which includes evaluating, planning, monitoring, and reflecting, to name a few. The effective use of ICT in education demands skills such as explaining and justifying the use of ICT and producing solutions to problems. Students need to discuss, test, and guess the various strategies that they will use.
ICT enhances subject learning. It is well known these days that the use of ICT in education adds a lot of value to key learning areas like literacy and numeracy.
ICT use develops ICT literacy and ICT capability. Both are 21st century skills that are best developed while ICT remains transparent in the background of subject learning. The best way to develop ICT capability is to provide them with the meaningful activities embedded in purposeful subject-related context.
ICT usage encourages collaboration. You have to put a laptop, iPad, or computer in the classroom to understand how this works. ICT naturally brings children together where they can talk and discuss what they are doing for their work, and this in return opens up avenues for communication and thus leads to language development.
ICT use motivates learning. Society's demands for new technology has not left out children and their needs. Children are fascinated with technology and it encourages and motivates them to learn in the classroom.
ICT in education improves engagement and knowledge retention. When ICT is integrated into lessons, students become more engaged in their work. This is because technology provides different opportunities to make it more fun and enjoyable in terms of teaching and same things in different ways. As a consequence of this increased engagement, it is said that they will be able to retain knowledge more effectively and efficiently.
The use of ICT allows for effective differentiation instruction with technology. We all learn differently at different rates and styles, and technology provide opportunities for this to occur.
ICT integration is a key part of the national curriculum. The integration of digital technologies or ICT is a significant part of the education curriculum, for example. And this is a trend that many global governments are taking up as they begin to see the significance of ICT in education.
We live in a knowledge economy. This is an economy where it is vital to have the ability to produce and use information effectively. It is a time when ICT is pervasive and permeates throughout all industries in the economy, whether it may be health, education, environment, and manufacturing. The significance of ICT in the Australian economy was emphasized in the recent article by Alan Patterson, CEO of the Australian Computer Society, in his statement that the ICT industry now rivals mining in terms of the contribution to the economy.
Okay, are you still with us, our dear learners and listeners? This time, please prepare your pen and paper because we will be testing your mind if you really listen our discussion.
Again, get your pen and paper, for we are having a short exercise. Write your name in the top of your paper and put number from 1 to 5.
All you have to do is to identify the type of the communication technology mentioned in the following questions that we are going to read. Choose the correct answer and write the letter only. Ready?
For number 1, there are over 74 millions of people who are using this kind of communication technology today. What kind of communication technology is it? A. Analog cell phone. B. Smartphones. C. Walkie-talkie. And D. Landline telephone.
Again, for number 1, there are over 74 millions of people who are using this kind of communication technology today. What kind of communication technology is it? A. Analog cell phone. B. Smartphones. C. Walkie-talkie. D. Landline telephone.
For number 2, the first phone using digital communication, known as 2G phones, appeared in the early 1990s. What kind of communication technology is this? A. Analog cell phone. B. Smartphones. C. Walkie-talkie. And D. Landline telephone.
Again, for the second number, the first phones using digital communication known as 2G phones appeared in the early 1990s. What kind of communication technology is this? A. Analog cell phone. B. Smartphones. C. Walkie-talkie. D. Landline telephone.
For number 3, what kind of digital device that display programming, games, photographs, and on-demand movies, stream internet content, play music, and handle recorded media like CDs and DVD? A. LED TV. B. LCD TV. C. Smart TV. Or D. Black and white TV.
Again, for number 3, what kind of digital device that display programming games, photographs, and on-demand movie stream, internet content, play music, and handle recorded media like CDs and DVD? A. LED TV. B. LCD TV. C. Smart TV. D. Black and white TV.
For number 4, what do we call this computer network providing a variety of information and communication facilities that consist of interconnected networks? A. Wi-Fi, B. Internet, C. Modem, D. Router.
Again, for number 4, what do we call this computer network providing a variety of information and communication facilities that consist of interconnected networks? A. Wi-Fi, B. Internet, C. Modem, D. Router.
For our last number, number 5, what kind of communication technology or device that is used for storing data or transferring files to or from a computer or smartphone? A. USB flash drive, B. DVD, C. CD, or D. SIM card.
Again, for number 5, what kind of communication technology or device that is used for sorting data or transferring files to or from a computer or smartphone? A. USB flash drive, B. DVD, C. CD, or D. SIM card.
Okay, let's answer the question right away. Just mark check if your answer is correct and put an X if it is not.
Number 1, there are over 74 millions of people who are using this kind of communication technology today. What kind of communication technology is it? A. Analog cell phone, B. Smartphone, C. Walkie-talkie, D. Landline phone. The answer is letter B, smartphones.
Number 2, the first phone using digital communication known as 2G phones appeared in the early 1990s. What kind of communication technology is it? A. Analog cell phone, B. Smartphone, C. Walkie-talkie, and D. Landline telephone. The answer is letter A. Analog cell phone.
Number 3, what kind of digital device that display programming, games, photographs, and on-demand movies, stream internet content, play music, and handle recorded media like CDs and DVD? A. LED TV, B. LCD TV, C. Smart TV, or D. Black and white TV? The answer is letter C, Smart TV.
Number 4. What do we call this computer network providing a variety of information and communication facilities that consist of interconnected networks? A. Wi-Fi, B. Internet, C. Modem, D. Router. The answer is letter B. Internet.
For the last number, number 5, what kind of communication technology or device that is used for storing data or transferring files to or from computer or smartphones? A. USB flash drive, B. DVD, C. CD, or D. SIM card? The correct answer is letter A, USB flash drive.
Okay, who got the perfect score? That's awesome if you get the perfect score, but if you don't, just okay, because we will be having another test.
Again, please prepare a clean paper and your pen because we will have another test. Write your name at the top of your paper and number it from 1 to 5.
Here is the direction for the test. Write true if the statement is true and correct this statement if it is false. Again, write true if the statement is true and correct the statement if it is false. Okay?
Let's start. Number 1. The presence of ICT in education allows for new ways of learning for students and teachers. Again, the presence of ICT in education allows for new ways of learning for students and teachers.
Number 2. ICT does not promote higher order thinking skills. Again, ICT does not promote higher order thinking skills.
Number 3. ICT use develops ICT literacy and ICT capability. Again, ICT use develops ICT literacy and ICT capability.
Number 4. ICT in education improves engagement and knowledge retention. Again, ICT in education improves engagement and knowledge retention.
For the last number, number 5, ICT enhances subject learning. Again, ICT enhances subject learning.
Okay, this time let us check your work if it is correct. Number 1. The presence of ICT in education allows for new way of learning for students and teachers. Okay, true.
Number 2, ICT does not promote higher order thinking skills. False. ICT promotes higher order thinking skills.
Third, ICT use develops ICT literacy and ICT capability. True.
Last number, ICT enhances subject learning. True.
Last number 5, ICT enhanced subject learning. The answer is true.
Who got perfect? That's great. For those who did not get the perfect score, better luck next time, okay?
Okay, that was our discussion today. And let us now announce the winner of Tanong Ko, Sagot Mo game. The answer is Information and Communication Technology. And the winner is Keys Canyeso from Naval Biliran.
Congratulations, Kish. You will receive 50 pesos worth of load later.
Before we end, let me share you this message from Michael A. Seminole. ICTs will continue to be a significant part of our future as it connects itself to more and more parts of our lives. It will continually evolve and change because as consumers, we all like a choice. We like to use ICT for personal growth, creativity, joy, consumption, and wealth. This is Teacher Ben.
And this is Teacher Ike, your host for today's episode. Thank you.